Hello everybody, my name is Reza and I'm sharing my experience in mysticism on YouTube. These experiences are coming through 25 years of research and investigation in this field. In this series of video we are going to talk about numbers and the secret behind them, and also the relations that numbers have with mysticism and wisdom. So follow me and subscribe to this video for new updates. Thank you very much. So from mystical point of view, numbers have their own meaning and their own relations, and in different societies of spiritual belief or in occult knowledge or in numerology, mankind has always tried to find some sort of relation and use numbers to somehow find a shortcut to hidden knowledge or consciousness or whatever that is not in reach of human sense. In this regard, mostly in religions, numbers have found special meanings that are coming through special definition. And when something comes to a certain definition, it somehow is limited. When you try to give explanation for something, you change it to something limited that cannot go beyond that description. So if we are going to reach some unknown through numbers, then we are not allowed to somehow put them in restricted area and put a frame around them and say, okay, for example, 1 means this and 2 means that. So if anyone is going to have any kind of interpretation, has to use this type of description, so it would be something limited and not connected to the vast vast world of meaning, let's say. But away from this, because some people were trying to learn this not based on intuition but from others, so they have tried to find out what others have been saying about the numbers, and actually they tried to learn it. This learning may somehow open or give them new clues to follow up, to have their own intuitions. But as I said, most of them, because they are followers of the different spiritual methods or religions, they have to stick to those explanations, and sorry, this way they stopped to go further. You know, I've been recording some videos on mysticism, and as you know, mysticism also has varied types and varieties, you know, in different beliefs, in different culture, and people have their own understanding based on their culture and their surrounding and whatever they have understood. So although they have the same meaning from the inner side, but when they are going to express it, they have different word and different language and different samples. So in order to find a unified language to talk through mysticism and be in a way that all other people understand you, I just came to this conclusion that a unified language can be used, that all people understand it. And although the level of understanding may be different, but at least it is known to all the people. As a sample, you may use music language, because all the people around the world understand the music somehow. I don't say that they understand it fully or they can interpret what they're getting from the music, but it's a common language that almost all the people around the world have some sort of sympathy or feeling through the same music. In order to be more clear, we have to use a language not that complicated as music, but something to be more logic. And in this way, I found mathematics and numbers that could be a good language to express mysticism, because all people know about mathematics, and if we use simple connection in mathematics and somehow make it simple for even ordinary people to understand it, then this could be used as a common language for explaining the mysticism. And when you come to explain about this phenomena, because people got used to learn and acquire knowledge through experiments, when you don't have anything to prove, it could be just your dreams and nobody else is somehow feel to he or she has to accompany you or believe you or say that you are right, because there is no chance to make the same experience twice. It's not repeatable. But when you're using mathematics and you're giving the fundamental and definitions, then you have the numbers, and when you use numbers, you can make calculations, and the calculations are the most logical phenomena that we have in the world. We have no logic more accurate as mathematics. So this is why I decided to talk mysticism through mathematics, and somehow get this wisdom out of imaginary things and illusions and things like that. Because when a master is talking about something that is not related to our normal five sense, then it's really hard to judge if he's right or if he's talking about his illusions. But when we come to the mathematics and we give basic definition and samples for the actually, we are going to give a construction law for the numbers, then all the things will be driven out of these numbers, and maybe it could be a better way to have a common sense and common feeling, and then somehow retest and find the same things that other people have found. Also, this is not the ultimate things that I have in my mind, because if we start giving restricted definitions, then we will go through the same things that other people have done through the history. So they've given definition, and then some others were obeying those definition, and then it was the same thing that they were limited in their own definitions, and the path to the intuition and inspiration has been closed somehow. So I'm giving some sort of definition that which are not limited themselves. For example, when we talk about time, we say this number is related to time. So whenever we notice that number in a calculation, we find out that this is related to the time. but we are not giving any definition that limits you. It depends on your intuition to find out what is the story about time in that complexion of the composition of the numbers that are sitting next to each other. So in this regard, I've have one or two word definition for digital numbers, actually from 0 to 9, and then after that I will explain each one, and in the next step we will go to have some sort of combination through them and find pattern and see what we can find through this. And for sure this will lead us to a new understanding of the world, because our world is related to each other. It's somehow doesn't matter if you go through mathematics or you go through art or you go through music, all the things are related. Mathematics is in music, music is in mathematics, and both of them are in the symphony of human beings. So because all the things are related to each other, if we understand one thing, we will be able to expand it to the other subjects and find out what is going on. So I'm going to give you the equivalent, not limited meaning, actually vast meaning for the numbers. You may find some similarity between the explanation that I have for the numbers and the definition that may other method in spirituality or in numerology or occult science have, but what I'm telling you is not related to them, but are based on my own inspirations and intuitions. So when we go further and I start explaining them, you will find what I really mean by them. So number 1 is related to wisdom, and the only word that I'm going to use for number 1 is wisdom. Number 2 is knowledge, and if you want to somehow find the differentiation between 1 and 2, knowledge is, from my own of understanding, is what you can acquire, you can get, you can learn it somehow, or is something that learned through the history and now is accumulated as a science and humankind has access to it. So number 3 is definition. Its definition is duration. It's talking about the whole time, about past, present, and future all together, or connection to them. So duration, past, present, future, and their connection together. Number 4 is about the big cycles and the turning points. Turning points, I mean inflection. Number 5 is related to balance. Number 6 is time, and it's different from number 3, but they have also some coordination together. Number 3 and number 6 are other dimensions, somehow both related to time. Number 7 is somehow like number 4. It's small cycle and inflection. So number 4 is the big cycle, number 7 is a small cycle. Number 8 is fulfillment. Number 9 is consciousness, awareness, but unknown. Is the unknown awareness, is the unknown consciousness. And 0 is the wholeness, but unknown. So it's related to the number 9. Actually, number 9 and 0 are both the same kind of two sides of the same coin. So I have a copy of these definitions on the screen. You can see, and on next session I will explain what does they mean and give you more details about each number. And good luck. Bye bye.